Wayzata High School for the second semifinal in the Section 5 Class 4A volleyball tournament. It's third seed Maple Grove taking on the number 2 seed Champlin Park. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Andy Gugasberg, and these teams met earlier in the season with Champlin Park getting a sweep, but it's always fun to see, how much of both teams improved or changed throughout the season. Two pretty good teams, and the winner wants to get a shot at Wayzata in the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. These two teams did meet earlier in the year. I saw Maple Grove really early in August, and then I saw them a little bit later in September. They're making big strides to get a little bit better every single day. Like to see what they bring. I don't know that it's a sweep. Champlin would like to see it that way, but the Champlin Park team has made big strides getting better as well. So this could be anybody's match going forward tonight.
Champlin Park's been in the top 10 all season long. Maple Grove coming off what was probably their best season ever last year. They graduated a lot of that team, so a lot of the players have had to learn on the fly on the varsity level, but like you said, the results have been getting better and better, I think, and I think they feel a little bit confident now, maybe more so than what they would have if this were early September.
Absolutely. This season is clicking on all cylinders right now. They are younger than they were last year by a lot. They've had some kids get brought up from the B squad and from the JV team throughout the year. Hard work pays off in the Maple Grove gym, and so those kids are being rewarded with some playing time, and they're doing some really nice things.
Let's look at key players in this one, starting with the Crimson, as they are quote-unquote the visitor here in this neutral site match as the lower seed. Abby Boltice has had a very strong season for them, and they're going to need her and their other top offensive weapons to be sharp tonight.
Yeah, she's done a really nice job. She does better out of system than she does in system, which is not very common, but she's really smart with the ball when she gets her swing opportunities. Will go to the floor if she needs to, but is just as comfortable with an off-speed shot that gets somebody uncomfortable and gets an easier ball back the next time around. Real fun to watch.
We're going to talk about her counterpart as number 10 for Champlin Park. Marley Hansen has had a pretty good season for them as well.
Yeah, Hansen is one of the upperclassmen on this team that can do some real damage. She, unlike her counterpart across the net, is all power all the time. If the block's in front of her, she'll chip it off. If she sees a seam in the block, she's going to find the floor. Very explosive, dynamic athlete.
Champlin Park, according to their coach John Junker, served pretty effectively the first time they played Maple Grove. He feels like that's a key tonight. He said if we can keep it away from Maple Grove's best weapons, it's definitely going to be to our advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't have as much experience at the setter position as they've had in the past, speaking on Maple Grove's behalf. So if the ball's out of system, it becomes a one-dimensional game, and Champlin Park's really good at stopping one hitter.
All right, we'll see who moves on to take on unbeaten Wayzata in the section championship. It's the Crimson and the Rebels, and it comes your way next here on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Welcome back here. It's Maple Grove and Champlin Park getting set to battle here. We are at Wayzata High School as the highest seed. The Trojans getting to host the semifinals, and they dispatched of Spring Lake Park in their semi to advance to the championship. To get a look at the bracket as a sweep for the Trojans, who have been a powerhouse this year, no question about that. Champlin Park advancing with a win over Armstrong, and Maple Grove swept their rivals from Osseo. Neither team having too much difficulty in that first round. And now tonight we'll see who's going to advance to that championship. And I know, Andy, I think particularly for Champlin Park, they have to kind of be thinking, we can't be thinking ahead to possibly playing Wayzata. We've got a pretty decent team in front of us right now.
Yeah, I noticed that Champlin Park got here plenty early, but Coach John Junker and his assistants were making sure that nobody was paying too much attention to what was going on in the Wayzata match, because they have a match they have to play to get to play number 1 powerhouse Wayzata.
Starting lineups for these two teams: Crimson on the left and Champlin Park on the right. And speaking of getting her early, that did not happen for the Crimson. They had a no-show bus, and they kind of had to scramble just a little bit, but it was interesting talking to that man, Coach Jamison Gray. He was a little bit worked up about it. He said his players, though, they're teenagers. They just spent time talking to their friends. He said it didn't seem to faze them at all, which was a good thing for him to hear. And, he feels like it won't really have any impact on them, that they had to kind of rush through a little bit in terms of their preparation.
And we see John Junker in his 11th season. John very excited about what the potential for this team was at the beginning of the year, and they have matched expectations. State title winner, was it 2018? Is that correct? I think that's when they won their title. And his Champlin Park Rebels about to serve here to start us off, Allison Kopp.
Kopp with a strong serve. Block thrown up there nicely by Ellie Schmidt. Another try at it here, though, and Boltice able to put it away for the Crimson.
Yeah, first ball blocked. Great coverage from the Crimson, and then they repeat the set. She gets a second opportunity and takes that one off the block and down for a point.
Annika Olsen in to serve here now for Maple Grove. Rebels go right side and hammered home there by Claire Caswell.
Caswell just kind of wherever you need her, she can score points for you. Does a really nice job hitting the high ball behind. We'll take a look at the end of this thing here. It's kind of a quick set and right into the lap of, I believe that was Olsen.
Outside to Boltice, and she'll put it away. Second kill for her, 2-1 Crimson. Coach Gray was looking for, he said, we need to get off to better starts too. We've had too many nights where the first 3-4 points go up for the other team, and then you're always kind of playing that little bit of catch up. He said, we need to be at our sharpest to compete with this Champlin Park team. We know that. Here's Hansen gonna tip. And that ball may have been outside the antenna, it looks like, as a flag going up.
Quick call there from the lineswoman as she sees that ball over the antenna.
And we don't have just spare students working the lines as you often have in the regular season too, so presumably get a little more consistent calls and everything that way. That one put home by Ellie Schmidt for Champlin Park. So Rebels to within 3-2 as Hansen heads back to the service line. Alicia Patton and Liesl Haugen back in now for Maple Grove as Hansen gets set to serve. And it's a beauty. Patton couldn't get to it. Coach Junker said, we're not a team that we're super worried about if we miss a serve here and there. He said, we want to be effectively aggressive. We're not just looking to get the ball over every time. We want to target certain people in certain spots on the court. Tip outside, but just wide. It's a point for Champlin Park. Not a bad idea there, but just couldn't quite hit the court.
Good jump set by Olsen there. Nice decision. Just missed the swing she wanted. Sear will get reset here.
Push deep, but just out as Marta Haugen trying to find that corner. So Champlin Park putting together a little run. They go in front 5-3 with 3 straight points. And they're definitely serving at Patton. 3-ball chance here for the Rebels. Tough ball to set. They get it over, but now Maple Grove will get a swing. Hansen able to dig it up. Carly Gilk really had to reach for that one. It was not exactly what they wanted to do there, but it will work out.
Yeah, good layout there by Hansen. Bumps that ball, is actually in a pretty good spot. Gilk was expecting something further in. Because of her length, the lefty freshman able to go up and get that ball.
And that'll be an ace as Hansen has put together a nice service run here.
Pulling middle Sear back into the pattern of serve receive. letting her take a little court, take some pressure off Patton maybe.
Push cross court, Gilk is there, and now Hansen will tip. And that one put home by the freshman Marta Haugen.
Marta, one of those mid-season pull-ups, did not start on the varsity roster, got pulled up after a couple injuries, and has done some really nice work on the outside.
Kara Sear, one of the few returning regulars for Maple Grove from that team last year. Here's Gilk smoking it home off the set from Kopp. And it was big for Maple Grove last year to beat Champlin Park. I mean, that wasn't something that really happened all that often in the two programs' history, especially in recent years. And so a big outcome for them, even though it was obviously a very shortened season and they didn't get a chance to play a real section tournament. They kind of did a quasi one, but it was not an official section tournament. Reese Axness will serve here for Champlin Park as they lead at 8-4. And that ball, Crimson able to recover a tough first pass. Dug up there by Liesel Haugen. And good effort, but they couldn't get it. It was kind of an in-between, and actually two Rebels kind of went for it and ended up Axness struggling to control it, and then Kerpak running over into the bench area or score table area. Waterman serving with her team down by 3. And that one wide of the mark from Jordan Kerpak. It will be a point for Maple Grove, and they're to within 8-6.
Kerpak looking to find hands there, just misses down that line.
Axness coming middle to Lily Reese in the sophomore, but it's kind of scary for opponents of the Rebels, just looking at how many great young players they have in this team. I mean, they're already one of the state's better teams, and they figure to be as good or better in coming years. Hansen digs this one up, and over the net it goes. Boy, I think me and a lot of people in the gym thought it was going to hit something up top, and I think the Crimson probably subconsciously relaxed a little bit too. Right side for Marta Haugen. Axness will come to Gilk, cross court, but misfired on that one. In to serve is Catherine Peeler here, sophomore for the Crimson. They also definitely have some good young players as well. And a serving error there though for Peeler, and the Rebels will get it back, leading 11-7. Carly Gilk to serve. That student section's going back and forth a little bit here, and a lot of Halloween costumes out as well tonight. Gilk getting down to dig that one up. Now Kerpak. Nice pass from Haugen. And cross court hammered home by Boltice.
Boltice making her presence known again in the front row. She did a great job the first time through. Looking at another swing here. We'll take a look at this one. Haugen with a great dig. Nice ball all the way out to the pin, and she just elevates so well. She can hit anywhere on the court from up there.
Liesel Haugen to serve. And that one's going to be too strong. Not all that many high schools have the seating on the end zones here. I kind of think the ADs and things like that are probably relieved that the student sections are that far separated. They can chant and back and forth all they want, but they're not very near each other, and that's probably a good thing.
And the parents get to sit where they normally sit, which is also beneficial.
Blocked there. Another opportunity. Blocked again. Came back at Boltice. Can she rescue this one? Nope, that one was outside the antenna. point for Champlin Park as Schmidt and company doing a nice job blocking there. Kopp to serve here for Champlin Park. 13-8 Rebels in our first set. And that one will wind up as an ace as Boltice might have played a ball that should have been Peeler's there.
Jamison Gray's seen enough. He calls a timeout, trailing 8-14 here in set one. Things going well for Champlin Park right now, as we talked about in the pregame. We'll take a look at this serve, and that'll lead right into what we want to chat about. That ball floats and it dies off the end there. Lack of communication from Maple Grove. Champlin Park, a tough serving team. John Junker preaches it all season long that we're going to go for it. We're okay with a miss here and there. We really want to make sure we get after it from the service line, limit the other team's opportunities to set middle hitters especially, but really just limit the offense generally speaking. His team doing everything they need to do right now. On the other side, what do you think here? Maple Grove maybe still a little on the bus. That was a little late. They're not quite in the rhythm that we saw from them earlier in the year. I'd like to see them kind of take a deep breath, get after what needs to get done. Boltice can do some things with her attack. She's going to be a target here in serve receive. She needs to shore up her first touch.
And I think that's something that we talked about at Champlin Park's tough serving, and I think Maple Grove definitely, it's been an issue for them. Haven't gotten a lot of clean passes. That one goes off the curtain overhead. Now the Rebels nearly collide, but Stremmel stays with it. How gonna dig? Hansen trying to put that one away. Now Boltice another swing off the block. Hansen gets there, and then Kopp. Long point here, who's going to take it? And that one is wide off the swing from Peeler. And Champlin Park scrambling and will end up winning the point.
Good long rally, like the back row out of system swing there, just missed it though.
Kopp serving at Boltice. Dug up there by Stremmel, and now Hansen, and that one's off the antenna. Maple Grove finally stems the tide a little bit here. They need to get something going, though, down by 6.
Yeah, can't just be one and done here. They're going to need to go on a little run here, and Olsen can do it. She's got a nice float serve if her location is on.
Hansen pushing it to the outside. Now Boltice a swing, and is able to get it done. And snuck that one through the block a little bit, didn't have it quite closed, and Maple Grove reaches double figures now, down 15-10. Kopp going quick with it. And she'll come back middle that time. Swiping it was Caswell. And off the block. Delivering there is the young Haugen. I'm sorry,
Is that Waterman?
Yeah, I believe it was Waterman.
I made the same mistake watching a little earlier as well. Take a look at the end of this point here. Waterman goes
I'm sorry, Waterman.
Off the block and down. Really nice swing.
That's about the one spot on the court that I couldn't really see because of the official, and I kind of guessed. Sorry. There's Hansen putting it away for the Rebels. As they've done a nice job, too, of limiting any kind of runs from Maple Grove. Like you said, the one and done kind of thing. And they've been able to instead, maybe put together 3 or 4 on occasion, whereas Maple Grove really hasn't. Stremmel. And that went off the ceiling. They stay with it. Oops, and then Boltice sprays it wide.
Oops is the call there, Jay. Absolutely right. She just missed it by that much, she says. I love it when a hitter can make a mistake like that and just stay in a good spirit about it.
And that went off the ceiling. Again, they're sent scrambling by the tough serves of the Rebels. Here's Hansen. Had it blocked. Ooh, Sear and Waterman were there. And that one fired up the Crimson bench.
Blocking, statistically speaking, is one of the lowest successful skills, but it's worth a couple 3 points every time from a momentum standpoint. As we see it right there, really nice block. Waterman got the lion's share of it.
Ooh, nice dig made there by Olsen. Hansen chipping around the block and will drop it in for the Rebels. They now lead it 18-12. Patton checking back in for Maple Grove. They target her again on the serve, and it's an ace for Hansen. And this time it's Sear who's unable to handle it. Now, granted, these are good serves, but to play winning volleyball in this kind of atmosphere, you got to be able to handle those a lot better than what Maple Grove's been doing.
Yeah, it seems to be that Maple Grove has been okay this season with some overhand serve-receive play. As a coach, I train it, but when a server has the pace that Hansen does, that overhand play won't work. You've got to create an angle and just rebound the ball. We're not looking for a perfect pass here. We're just looking for something up and playable to get out of this rotation. Ball is deep and it's flat, and yeah, Sear is a strong kid, but not able to get enough on that ball to keep it moving forward.
And you really do get the feeling that Champlin Park, and I guess all of the top teams, it's definitely a big part of their attack is we practice where to serve, who we're going to attack, especially when it's a team in your conference, in your section that you know their personnel, you know what they can and cannot do, and it's been pretty evident that they have a plan in mind with pretty much every serving opportunity.
Yeah. Whether it's a conference opponent, a section opponent, somebody that you played with on your club team and you know what they do or don't do well, you can tell these players know each other very, very well.
This time Haugen on serve receive, and there's Marta Haugen putting it away for the Crimson. Trying to battle back here. They've got a long road as they're down by 7, but still trying to stick in this one. And even if they can't come back in this one, build a little bit of momentum. We've seen a little more spark on their bench and a little more smiles on the face from them as it's gone on. I think maybe the nerves starting to go away a little bit, but will that be enough to lead to them being able to compete well in this match? Hansen with a swing from the back row. Now it's Marta Haugen again. Kopp's going to come to Gilk, and she puts it away.
Big swing into the cross court from the lefty freshman. We'll take another look here. Easy dig from Hansen again. Kopp puts it on a tee, and block kind of irrelevant there as Gilk uncorks on one.
Marta Haugen rolling it over here. See what the Rebels can do with it. Back to Gilk. Chipping this time. Liesl Haugen gets there. Cross court. Ooh, that one might have been out, but Axness plays it. Kerpak delivering cross court for Champlin Park. They're playing at just a little quicker pace than Maple Grove right now, too.
Yeah, Kerpak undersized, but she's so whippy with her hand. That's a really nice swing. She's good for another kill for the Champlin Park Rebels.
Axness, the freshman setter here. Good serve.
Gonna have a center line call here, yep.
Crimson stepping over center line, kind of a safety thing obviously there. So 23-13 now. And the little things going Champlin Park's way too. Another good serve. Liesl Haugen able to run it down, but a free ball chance here for the Rebels. Come middle, and Lily Reese with the hammer. 24-13 Champlin Park. They've looked good here in this first set.
Take another look here. Good pass. And then you can't leave her one-on-one. That's going to end poorly for Maple Grove all night.
Haugen to Haugen, and then Haugen. Blocked though. Lily Reese getting the kill the previous point. That time will score again with the block. And Champlin Park rolls in this first set. 25-13 Rebels on the board. First, set 2 coming up here in the Section 5 4A semifinals.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckle tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Gotta love Halloween costumes. That's one of the things I missed last year. We didn't have all these fans and everything, and every year, end of the volleyball playoff time, you see the great costumes in the student sections. Champlin Park winning that first set, 25-13, and the Rebels, one of the teams in the area that's been ranked all year. Obviously, the potential opponent for the winner of this one, Wayzata, is going to be tough to beat for anybody. They've had just a phenomenal season at 30-0, and you see some of the other teams that have been battling with quite a few losses along the way for most of the teams, but it's hard to go undefeated in this state in this present time of volleyball.
2009, the last time a large class winner, which up until this year was 3A, now there's 4 classes. 2009 Shakopee team with a woman named Ashley Whitman, who was 2-time or 3-time Gatorade Player of the Year for the state of Minnesota. The last time somebody ran the gauntlet. And Wayzata about to try and join some pretty rare air this season.
We always have to be really careful not to pencil them into the state tournament. Obviously, we've covered Wayzata sports for an awful long time, but we've also covered Champlin Park and Maple Grove for a very long time too.
I mean, no disrespect to Maple Grove or Champlin Park or anybody else that Wayzata might run into on their way.
Well, Maple Grove, I think, kind of hoping that maybe the jitters have gone away. They did not, being blunt, they didn't play a great first set by any means. I know their standards are higher than what they showed in that first set, and trying to show they can come back a little bit here. Liesel Haugen serving, and it's a good floater to start the set. Moberg down to get it, and hammered home by Caswell. Just the way the first set started, they do the same again here, and Champlin Park, they just kind of look, I mean, they're playing with a lot of spark, but also sort of businesslike. Like, they expect to play this well.
Yeah, the student section gets excited after every big kill. The players don't. They're just, this is business as usual for them.
Voltice, that one dug up by Moberg. Here's Marley Hansen, too deep with that one.
Hansen looking for hands, just misses deep 6. Good long arm swing there, good finish to her approach, just didn't quite catch the block.
Olson will serve here for Maple Grove, tied up at 1. Start of set number 2 here on CCX. And this is the Section 5 4A semifinals. Top seed Wayzata has already won their way into the championship match. And a kill there for Lily Reese for Champlin Park.
2 kills from the middle position there. That means the first touch has to be on point, and it has been for Champlin Park.
Hansen, good strong serve there. Ooh, and there's Sear getting a swing and with authority puts that one away. She hasn't been much of a factor in that. Coach Junker talked about that. He said that middle they've got, we want to not have her be involved in their offense much because we know she's pretty good.
Yeah, when they serve tough, she's not an option, but that time the serve passed very well as a result. Quick point for Maple Grove.
Down the line, but missing there was Reese. Good idea, just didn't quite execute. So 3-2 Crimson. Voltice with the serve. Kopp back for Hansen, and that pass by Voltice toward the net, a tough one to figure whether it was going to be have to come out of the net or instead it missed it entirely. Rebels get the point. Axness looking to the bench for a signal here on where to serve this ball. And that one was, well, let's see, was it touched? I thought so, yeah. Ball was out, but it was touched by, I believe it was Haugen. They tried to pull their hands out of the way at the last second. Crimson students saying that ball was out, but I sure thought it was touch. Yeah, Haugen.
I think Liesel got it on the way out.
Yep. And again, some trouble handling the serve. They'll get it over, but Axness coming to Gilk, pushing it deep. And a one-handed dig attempt there by Savannah Conger, but unable to keep that ball up enough for anybody to play it. Axness will serve again here for the Rebels. Tipped over by Sear. Here's Gilk on the run. Haugen getting a nice pass, and there's Sear getting another swing for the Crimson. They're getting the balls a little bit better, getting the passes just a little bit better, and it's showing up here on the scoreboard.
Great first touch, hang it, Sear takes it into the 1-6. Textbook play.
Sear with the serve here for Maple Grove. Here's Hansen, and score the point here for the Rebels as Knutson trying to block that one. Didn't quite time it.
And Maddie's hands were across, they just got across late.
And that is a tough one to time from that spot. And that serve go way too long. Maple Grove will get the point. Waterman will serve here for the Crimson, trailing by 1 here in the second set. Axness had to run a long way for that one. Kerpak sending it over. Now the tip will drop in for Knutson.
So smart, Maddie Knutson there, seeing that there's a big hole over the top of the block, drops it down. We'll take a look here at the end of this play. Good work in transition, gets available right in between 3 Champlin Park defenders.
Here's Waterman to serve, trying to give her team the lead. Axness teeing it up there for Caswell. That pass was pretty tight to the net. That's well done by the setter.
Yeah, the freshman really good body control there. She's able to go up almost into the plane and pull it back. Caswell waiting for it.
Here's Gilk with the serve, and that'll be an ace. Lack of communication there by the Crimson. Again, it was served to a good spot, but nobody really went for it until it was on the way down.
Gilk, so tall, her contact point is at 7'4", so that ball doesn't have to go up much before it has to go over.
That ball wide of the antenna, even landed wide as well, so point for Champlin Park. Gilk's got such a variety, whether it be serves or hitting. I mean, she just kind of seems like she's capable of just about every shot. And Gilk with the dig off the Marta Haugen swing there. Back they come for Claire Caswell. Axness and Caswell working together well here. And I think that was kind of a deflating point for Maple Grove because they thought they'd done well with it, and still the Rebels dig it up and go back on offense. Oops, there's Gilk. Serving error for Champlin Park, so now 10-7 as the Crimson will get it back. Peeler to serve here for Maple Grove. Outside for Hansen, and that ball was wide.
Good tempo on that set, just misses.
Yeah, they looked at that one back because I think they had them fooled a little bit thinking they were going middle as well. Axness has to chase it down, and there is a kill for Hansen. Once again, Knutson trying to time one up from well off the net and couldn't quite do it. Kopp in to serve here for Champlin Park as they have built now a 3-point lead at 11-8. They also won the first set. one is hammered home as Boltice delivering again. She was heard from quite a bit early in that first set, and now coming through here. They have not really had an answer for her when she's gotten a good ball to hit.
Yeah, when the set is where she needs it, she's pretty lethal.
Liesl Haugen serving here for the Crimson. And another one put away. Caswell's been pretty efficient here tonight. She seems to want the ball, and she gives reason to come back to her by delivering shots like that.
Yeah, undersized for a middle blocker, but so athletic and so active. She does a really nice job.
Oberg digging that one up and pushed over there. Good play by Reese. I don't think that ball was where she was quite expecting it, but stayed with it. Stremmel with the serve, just too long. Good communication that time by the Crimson. And it will be a 13-10 score as Maple Grove gets the serve back. Olson, the sophomore setter, stepping up to the service line for Jamison Gray and the Crimson. And that one just out. Wow, I thought it might be too close to take. Hansen to serve now for the Rebels, leading it by 4. Near collision there. Liesl Haugen, though, gets to it. Sear will send it over. Right side to Gilk, and she comes through again.
Good finish on that play for the freshman. Another great set from Kopp here. We'll take a look. Gets it to the pin, and then Gilk can take it where she wants, and she goes in between the two blockers.
Hands here. Hansen does a good job, though, staying with it. Gilk will get another opportunity, and Gilk will deliver. Marley Hansen definitely gets some credit on that one, though, for digging that one up.
Her defensive presence in the 6 zone has been very well noticed, and Jamison Gray going to call a timeout here as his Crimson trail 10-16 here in set 2. Zoom in here, we'll get another look at this last point. It's another great serve from Hansen. Haugen handles it well. Then you go back row. I like the opportunity. Hansen, again, just everywhere she needs to be. And then we'll go with the bump set cross court, and Gilk with great patience takes that ball down the line. The freshman's having a heck of a match right now. You know, there's 2 freshmen that get regular playing time, and a third one on the varsity roster. Adler, last time we were here to cover Champlin Park in Wayzata, she got a little bit of playing time there as well. A couple sophomores, like you mentioned earlier, Jay. This Rebel team isn't going away anytime soon. There's a lot of talent here, and that doesn't take anything away from the great senior class. Most of those balls that Gilk is putting away come off of Kopp's hands. Kirpach does a really nice job with her opportunities. The small, undersized outside hitter swinging as well. They can get you from a bunch of different spaces.
Hansen has been a very effective server tonight as well for the Rebels. Sear with the tip. Stremmel, though, comes in to save it. Off the block, Hansen, another dig for the Rebels. And then put away by Schmidt. And again, that was kind of another of those points that it feels like deflating for Maple Grove, where they did some good things and then they still don't win the point. 7-point lead here for Champlin Park. They're already up 1-0. Haugen will come to Boltice. Had that one denied. Peeler sticks with it. Axness sending it to the outside. Nice block though by Sear. And a great dig though. Rebels again stay with it. And tipped wide by Sear. And yet another point where you say Champlin Park maybe not going to win it, and they do.
Yeah, that time great coverage on both sides of the net. Relentless defense, and eventually the attacking error gives Champlin Park the 18-10 lead.
And Hansen is human after all. She finally, her serve run ends as a serving error into the net. Voltice will serve for Maple Grove. 18-11 Rebels. Kopp coming right side with it and dropped in on the tip by Schmidt.
Yeah, great spot, good location there.
Axness coming in to serve now for Champlin Park is kind of similar to the first set. They've had a good variety. They've put Maple Grove on their heels with their tough serves and just overall outplayed the Crimson. Speaking of tough serve, oh, good recovery though by Haugen. Gilk had it denied, but Hansen's there. Gilk, another try, goes with the underhand tip. Out of necessity there. And that one snuck through the block for Audrey Waterman, and there's Maple Grove getting excited after they take the point. Sear will serve for the Crimson. Ooh, a great serve there, and it's an ace.
Some life from the bench. Take a look at this ace again. Sear knows this is her last half rotation before she gets replaced by the libero, taking advantage of it.
Gilk getting to that one. And was it tip? No, just wide, so point for the Crimson as Reese not quite able to hit the line with that one. Sear putting together a little run, 19-14. Kerpak off the blockers there. Sear with an overpass, oops. And Reese, kind of a rare mistake for Champlin Park, kind of an unforced one like that.
John Younker's had enough. He's going to call a timeout. Younker not one to call timeouts early. Very, very rare we see one from him at all, especially in a set where they are winning. He doesn't like what he's seeing from his team effort-wise and eyes-wise. He's talking to him right now about what needs to change, letting them know that this level is not what Champlin Park volleyball looks like. They know they need to play a little bit cleaner, a little bit faster, and take care of whatever comes out in front of them. The other side of that, we see Jamison Gray right now just re-emphasizing with his athletes that your good enough is good enough right now. Just keep playing Crimson volleyball and let what happens in front of us happen. Keep up the little things. Talking about hard work right now. It's all it's going to take, a little bit more hard work. They have a little bit more of a hill to climb here as they still trail by 4, but getting the Rebels in an uncomfortable situation, exactly what Maple Grove needs.
Yeah, when Coach Junker called that timeout, it kind of felt like that's the first time tonight that they have had even a small stretch where they didn't look very good. And Maple Grove hoping to capitalize on that and keep it going. Axness coming to Kerpak, and the Rebels continue to misfire. All of a sudden, it's all Maple Grove. Now, granted, they still trail by 3, but they are certainly putting together a run, and Sear, with her tough serves, has been a key part of that. This time timed up by Knutson. Cross to Marta Haugen, and she scores through the block. 19-17. For a little while you're thinking, well, okay, they make it a little closer, but now it's getting real here. They're down by 2.
Marta Haugen reminding us that there's another freshman on the floor here as she goes through Gilk and down for a point.
That one too long from Sear, so a great run of serves for her, but that time too strong with it, 20-17, and now Lily Reese will serve. We'll see if the Rebels can kind of get their mojo back here. Again, they're still ahead. Isn't like the floor's fallen out on them entirely, but Maple Grove certainly kind of turned the tide a little bit. Hansen digging that one up. Axness will come to Gilk. Throws it at Haugen there.
And you're right, throws it. The lift is the call there. Some officials let that ball go. We're not going to have that happen here.
Waterman to serve here for the Crimson. Back will send it over, and it's going to drop in.
Just when you thought Maple Grove had him reeling, a little bit of communication error there, because this is not what you want if you're Champlin Park. That free ball over, but the release only happens halfway.
Gilk serve just too long. 21-19. Peeler will serve for Maple Grove. Checking on the substitution there, I believe. Axness for Hansen, tipping it deep, run down by Peeler. Boltice able to deliver for the Crimson, and they're within 21-20.
It seems like that run from Marley Hansen is a distant memory, as this ball put on a tee, and as we've been talking about all day, you get her a ball in rhythm, she's going to score.
Peeler too long with that one though, and crucial serving error there makes it 22-20. Kind of get the feeling Champlin Parks is trying to hang on and squeak out this second set and then regroup a little bit. Allison Kopp to serve for the Rebels. Knutson hammers it home again. It started with that good first contact as they've had trouble with serve receive, but that time very nice.
Yeah, we'll take a look at this, and Knutson is going to win the matchup against Claire Caswell every time if she gets up at her peak, and she did there.
Hazel Haugen with the serve. Kopp sending it over for Caswell, and Caswell smokes it home. We talked about Boltice has been relatively unstoppable. Caswell, same.
Caswell, absolutely.
Timeout Maple Grove here with a 23-21 score.
This is the fight we're looking for, just exchanging jabs back and forth, looking for somebody to take an opportunity to finish the play. Looks like Maddie Knutson has kind of taken over the timeout here. We'll take a look at this last ball, and after a player gets beat, a good setter will go back to her, and that's exactly what happened. Caswell takes a great swing after Kopp puts it on a tee. John Junker talking to his team about what needs to happen here, talking probably about where Boltice is, what she's probably going to run, and making sure they get a block in front of her on the other side of the net. Maple Grove, when they're in rhythm, really, really good. When they're not, it's because there's a lack of communication on serve receive. Stremmel has a great serve. She's really good with her location. We'll see what she does here. Take a look once they get back out on the floor here where Haugen is. If Haugen's in the one, then look for this ball to go down the line. Absolutely, yep. See if Boltice can handle.
Stremmel coming at Peeler. Boltice able to run it down. That one's not going to get over there. 24-21 Champlin Park. After Maple Grove stormed back and had all the momentum, now the Rebels looking to try and put this one away. They kind of were dominating for the first portion of the set. But Maple Grove really showing signs of life. Boltice, a big swing. Moberg is there. Now Marley Hansen pushing it toward the corner. Oh, and just out.
(22-24). Olsen back in to serve and run the offense. I like Schmidt here for Champlin Park.
run for Kopp. They do go to Schmidt with the tip. Kopp coming right side, and it is put away by Ellie Schmidt. Good call, Andy, and Champlin Park will win 25-22. A much more competitive second set, though.
Yeah, significantly better volleyball played, especially down the stretch, or the middle third from Maple Grove there, as they're able to get that one back within 3 points. We take a look inside the Champlin Park huddle. Not quite the same grins they had at the end of set one, but it still looks all business here as they go up 2-0.
So 25-22 in the second for the Rebels. They will look for the sweep. Maple Grove looking to keep it going as we go to set 3 here on CCX.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
They are having a blast in the Champlin Park student section, especially with their team able to pull out that second set as well. Champlin Park was dominating. They won the first set relatively easily. They seemed to be very in command in set number 2, but then Maple Grove came back and really made it a battle down the stretch. But the victory eventually pulled out there by the Rebels 25-22 to go up. And Andy, again, we've talked about it a little bit throughout the year too, but after last season when a shortened season and no state tournament and no fans and all that, just to see the kids having such a fun time, not only the players on the court but in the stands too, it's great.
It's a reason why I truly enjoy being a part of a high school volleyball experience more than a club volleyball experience. There's no student section at a club tournament. There's no rowdiness. There's no crosstown rivals. There's none of that. And now we see, they're just so excited to be here, so excited to cheer on their friends, their classmates. We just had a history test and then came over here to cheer on some volleyball. Love it.
Kopp serving, and Maple Grove, a little lack of communication there again to start the third. And we should point out too, it isn't just the kids having fun. Now the parents, it's a little more nerve-wracking, but we saw the latter part of that shot was the parents or the adult section there. And they're not jumping around and having as much demonstrable fun, but they're still having a lot of fun, I'm sure, watching too. Hansen off the block. Great effort by Liesl Haugen, but couldn't keep it alive. 2-0 for Champlin Park. Here's a good look. There's the moms and dads, presumably, and maybe grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles too.
Just excited to be here and watching it live.
Kopp, another good serve, but Haugen is there. Sear tipping over, and it's obviously a simple thing to say, but it all starts with being able to handle that serve. And when they do that, they've been probably about even with Champlin Park, but there's just been too many times when they haven't been able to.
Yeah, once you get to the transition phase of the game, it's a coin flip just about across the board, but Champlin Park winning the serve and pass battle in all 3 sets so far.
Off the block here, Haugen is there. Now Sear teeing it up. Stremmel able to dig that one, fought it off. Sear will try again.
Oh, wow.
Kopp got underneath it, but I think we had a net violation against the Rebels anyway. Yes, we did. So it's going to be a point for Maple Grove anyhow. But Sear, I think, trying to throw a little something extra at him here and give her team some confidence that, hey, we're just as good as you.
Hit that first one, it got dug. Wasn't going to get dug the second one, hit it even harder. I didn't know she had harder in her, and there it was. Great swing.
Off the block here. Crimson get into their offense. There's Sear again. Moberg and Kopp both doing a nice job there. Boltice off the block. Moberg hustling, but they cannot keep it alive. And Maple Grove I know it's very early, but seemingly kind of carrying over that momentum that they started to build in that second set. Even though their rally did end up falling short, they just really came alive there, and they look more like that here early in the third.
Yeah, after the set 1 loss, you didn't know that they thought they could belong, and in set 2 they proved for a big chunk of the game that they belong. Now we'll see if they can take a set here.
Top to Hansen, that was off the antenna. 4-2 Crimson.
Best blocker in volleyball, you can't tool the antenna.
Olsen to serve here again for Maple Grove, trying to build on their 4-2 lead here early in the third. Hansen this time will tip. Liesl Haugen gets there. Roll to the middle and Schmidt delivering. Schmidt's not going to overpower you, but she seems to have a nice variety of effective shots.
Yeah, that time she recognizes it's not an in-system ball. She might have been trying to score there, but I think she was just trying to get Maple Grove out of system. Ended up working.
Voltice puts it away there. Good tempo, block was late. Five to 3 lead here for the Crimson, trying to stay alive in this match and in the season. They're down 2-0, but certainly looking sharper as the match goes on. Just say that the serving there for Voltice, but 5-4 Crimson lead as Hansen gets set to serve. And Hansen, I don't know if I'd say she's been the best server, but they've scored the most when she's been at the service line tonight.
Right, she's not giving away points, and when she serves, it's not necessarily for aces, although she's had a couple. It's to get the Crimson out of system, and especially with Sear still in the front row here.
And she'll do it with an ace there as Orek unable to handle that one.
Riley, another freshman on the floor here for Maple Grove.
Serve at her again. This time Haugen came over and took it. Liesl Haugen will send it over. Top looking to gilt. Haven't heard from her in a while, but she comes through there.
Good location, ball to the pin, she'll deliver.
Rebels go back in front now at 6-5 as Hansen to serve again. And, nice recovery there. I was about to say she's going to score with that one. And that one was into the tape, not a block. So fourth hit there on the Rebels. See if Maple Grove can use that one, a point that looked like it was going to be Champlin Park's. And Sear had a great serving run in that second set, which really sparked their comeback. Nice swing there and put away by Lily Reese. And Champlin Park goes back in front. A lot of different people they can go to. I mean, a lot of teams like to say that, but when it comes down to crunch time against another good team, do you really? And I think they do.
Yeah, they have one of the most diverse offenses in the state, and not only diverse as far as all 5 attackers or 6 attackers can be a part of it, but they all hit from everywhere.
Off the block, Rebels scramble to recover, and there's Knudsen. I like her little strut after making that block too. I mean, she felt confident, she felt good about that.
Yeah, we see behind the Maple Grove student section, Scott Jackson up there watching the volleyball in front of him. He's played this Champlin Park team already, but he's very locked in trying to figure out who's going to hit where in each rotation. It's a tough team to scout for certain.
Hansen getting a good swing there. Now it is Marta Haugen off the block and delivers for the Crimson. And Scott Jackson slightly calmer than the students from, there's a look at the Wayzata head coach. Taking it all in there, and yeah, he's not far from a group of rowdy Crimson students. And a serving error though for Maple Grove. Rebels will serve with a tied score at 8-8. Reese serving there. Here's Knutson getting an opportunity in the middle. She's mainly been a blocker, but that time getting a swing and puts it away. 9-8 Crimson.
Answer is found in the middle for Maple Grove right now, as both Knutson and Sear doing some nice things there. We see Knutson finishing a play in front of the middle. You really got to know as an offense when the other middle is serving where she is on the back court, because she doesn't play nearly as much defense as everybody else. Substitution delay there as Table needs to catch up with what's going on.
Boltice back in as Peeler will serve here. Kerpach cross court with that one. Hansen digging it. Can they stay with it in the ceiling? Yes. Kerpach cutting that one real sharp cross court and scoring.
That is a beautiful 4-to-4 swing. Take a look here. Bump set way outside, way outside. Haugen kind of caught in no man's land there. Went as far sharp as she thought she needed to, but still didn't get enough.
Boltice, that one dug up by Gilt. Excellent and great dig. Good recovery there for the Crimson by Orak. That one's going to be too long. Just after we praised Jordan, misfired a little bit on that one, so the Crimson go back in front.
Again, the battle we were hoping for happening here in set 3.
Liesl Haugen to serve for Maple Grove. Hansen pushing it across. And they went right side there, but Maya Swears not able to come through as they were evened up at 10. Allie Kopp now to serve for Champlin Park. Been even throughout this third one. Champlin Park leads 2-0, but again, the play on the court certainly has gotten a lot more even here as we've gone. Hansen. And that ball was good. Score it for Marley Hansen. Too long with that one.
Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
We got Olsen in to serve here, and an 11-11 third set. Here's Hansen missing. Trying to do a little too much with that one, I think.
Yeah, saw an opening in the corner and went a little bit sharper than she needed to.
The serve at Hansen. Kopp with a great save into our monitor there, and it'll be a point for Champlin Park. Allison Kopp didn't panic when she was about to run into two old guys and a TV and a table.
Is this our chance to be on TV? Oh, not quite. Great swing out of system, get the point, and it's 12-12.
Strummel with the serve, and into the net it goes. Again, Maple Grove, and a little lack of communication on who's going to take that ball. And we should point out, it's louder in here than most of the matches they play all season, too. There might be times when somebody's calling a ball that they don't hear.
For the first time in a while, Champlin Park up by 2 points.
Strummel to serve again. She's quietly had some very solid points for Champlin Park. Here's Sear. Ooh, a nice dig though by Kopp. And Hansen will score with it. Boy, Kopp, she deserves an extra pat on the back in that little huddle there. That was a great dig. Maybe the best of the night.
Yeah, Sear hits that ball into the block, and Kopp, great vision, makes sure she's balanced and stopped, able to take a stab at that ball and extend the rally.
Overpass there, and Reese earlier had one like that she got a little over anxious on. That time just calmly puts it away, and all of a sudden the Rebels have pulled out to a 4-point lead here after we were trading points all the way through the opening part of that set. And Andy, they're kind of feeling like we're back to where we were and looking to just kind of put their foot on the gas and put this one away, it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. It seemed like we were going to get our back and forth set 3 that we were looking for. Champlin Park got themselves calmed down, started taking care of the ball in front of them, and decided that this is exactly what needs to happen. We're going to take care of first touch. We're going to outwork them on defense, and we're going to take smart swings when we do get the ball. Now we see a 5-point run, and it's 16-12. Crimson call the timeout. They're looking for one opportunity. They need one quick side out. Either one of the middles can score. They need their opportunity. It starts with first touch. You know, Liesl Haugen's been flying all over the place, laying out, trying to get second touches or first touches on the ball. She just hasn't corralled them up to a teammate well enough in order for Maple Grove to go on their run.
The Crimson right now, you almost kind of hope they're not really thinking about the scoreboard, because otherwise you start to tighten up and go, oh God, it could be the end of our season here. You just want to be in the moment and taking each point one at a time. Sear off the tape there. A couple near collisions for the Rebels. They stayed with it though. Ooh, good down ball there, but Kopp fought it off. Sear, and that one I think was into the tape, yes. So 17-12, she's been pretty lethal in there, but that time didn't quite get it over. Boltice off the block. Kopp running set there. Nice dig by Liesl Haugen. Now Boltice finds a lot of space in the middle there and smokes it home.
Good transition kill for the junior outside hitter. Take a look at the end of the play here. Good pickup by Haugen. Bump set, she's got options. Because that ball's off the net, she's able to read where she wants to swing and put the ball into the floor.
Boltice, a serving error there, and Champlin Park gets a freebie. 18-13 Rebels as Hansen heads to the service line. And she returns the favor. Sear with a tough serve there, but Schmidt did a pretty good job with it. Now Gilk tipping. Hansen digs that one up. Tough ball for Schmidt, but she got it over. Now Marta Haugen. Oops. Gilk with the tip as the set was off target. Crimson scrambling, but cannot get it over there. Good adjustment by Gilk. She was completely fooled by that set. It just got away from Kopp a little bit there, but Gilk, by being as athletic and as tall as she is, made the adjustment. Axness with the serve. Knutson with the tip. Strummel is there. Now Gilk. Off the block. Can the Crimson get it over? No, they cannot. So Gilk will score it for the Rebels, 20-14. Things starting to look a little grim for Maple Grove right now, and Coach Gray's going to call a timeout.
Yeah, last timeout of the set here for the Maple Grove Crimson. They trail by 6. Everything flying Champlin Park's way. You know, we talked about earlier, probably the dig of the match was a ball that Sear cracked into the block, and Kopp was in the right position to play it. On that last rally, another ball from Gilk cracked into the block. Haugen almost in the right position, but digs it a little tight, and the ball doesn't get back across. So those are the small half an inch plays that Champlin Park is making that Maple Grove is not. As we come off the timeout, we take a look at the student section, still going a little bit crazy here. I'd like to see some side outs here at minimum, as we see Kara Sear at the end of the bench. The senior, the returning senior, there's another senior on the team. She wasn't on the varsity program last year. I'd like to see her to get back in at least so she can be on the floor for the end of her high school career.
Exness coming middle with it for Lily Reese, and she comes through 21-14. Champlin Park seems to have really gotten things back on track and looking like they did in the early part of the match. Exness. Here's Knutson, a swing. Gilk down to her knees to fight that one off. Off the block there, Hansen trying to dig it up. Kerpak will send it over. And pretty good placement down the line. And that one will drop in, so Waterman and the Crimson still fighting on here, down 21-15. Another look went high over the block, and by that time the Rebels had kind of gotten shifted around a little out of position. Gilk sending it deep middle. Here's Knutson off the block and scores it for the Crimson.
Maddie keeping available. It's not just a volleyball saying, but I've heard it said often, the best ability you can have as a player is availability, and Maddie is doing a great job right now.
Waterman. Hansen's. Oh boy. Maple Grove got a little overeager though. That was going to be a tough ball to handle, but into the plane there. So Reese to serve again here for Champlin Park, up by 6. Ida Haugen off the block there. Hansen will push it over. Knutson coming through again. Maple Grove trying to stay alive, fight back, down 22-17 as Peeler serves. Kerpak chipping. Exness will go back to Jordan here, off the block. Ooh, nice dig made there by Peeler. And that time Maple Grove stayed patient enough on that ball.
And another tight pass, tight dig.
John Yunker said, we don't want that ball anymore. Get rid of it.
Yeah, blame the ball.
Exness will come middle for Caswell, who's been not gotten enormous amount of opportunities, but boy, she has had a great hitting percentage tonight.
Taking advantage of every ball she's getting. Here we see it again. They hang it, and she goes over the smaller block there. Really good choice.
Haugen's pass tight to the net, but a nice job on the set, and that allowed Knutson a full swing.
Yeah, nice swing again out of serve receive there for Maddie Knutson. Those middles are hitting well over 500 each. Really nice job here on the C ball.
Liesl Haugen to serve. Hansen off the block. Here's Boltice, able to score it. Maple Grove not going to go down without a fight here.
Like to see Caswell here if the pass allows it.
Too long with that one is Haugen. And Champlin Park to within a point of getting the sweep here. Allie Kopp will try and finish it off here for Champlin Park. Kopp setting it middle. Haugen able to dig that one up off Caswell's right hand. And here's Boltice delivering another kill here for the Crimson.
Not out of road yet. Maple Grove looking for a push here.
Olsen to serve. Boltice will get another swing, and she puts it away again, and Maple Grove hanging in there. Timeout, Champlin Park.
Junker calls timeout. Match point in hand. I'm gonna pull Caswell out and talk about what she wants to hit here given the opportunity. I have a feeling they're gonna find her in transition, or in serve receive. Good serving from Maple Grove, obviously a must. Also can't just put it in though, or they're gonna be in system and be able to run their 3 hitters at whatever tempo they want. Look for things. I'd like to see a serve down the line here and take Kopp out. Make Kopp have a one decision to make. If the ball goes to Schmidt, she hasn't hit her roll shot in a minute. Look for the bagel. But first things first, Annika Olsen's got to be good from the service line.
Here's Olsen with her team down 24-22. And make it 24-23. They did go to Caswell, but did not pay off that time. Just when it looked like Champlin Park was going to kind of seal things up here, it's gotten very interesting down the stretch. Kopp will come to Hansen this time, too long. And they battle all the way back to tie it up. 24 all.
I'd love some free volleyball on a Thursday night.
Olsen, too long. Although I guess fortunate she didn't do that on any of the previous ones, but now 25-24 and Champlin Park with another match point opportunity here as Kylie Stremmel will serve. And that one is too long. Back and forth we go.
Another opportunity here for Maple Grove.
Boltice will serve. Kopp. And that one was good. Reese finding the corner.
Such a smart spot there.
Marley Hansen to serve now for the Rebels. Sear hammering it home, and we're even again.
Orrock stared down by the server before that ball got served, dimes that pass, and they're able to get Sear one more swing. Now she's back at the service line.
Ooh, and a great serve it was. Kopp coming to Gilt, dug up nicely there by Orrock. and Maple Grove goes back in front. Timeout, Champlin Park.
This is exactly why they got dressed up this morning. This is why they got on the bus late this afternoon. 27-26, Maple Grove up here getting their first set point of the match. We'll take a look at the last one here. Bottom drops off of that serve. Gilk with a great swing. Orrock, great dig in the middle, and then off Gilk's hands and out of bounds as the freshman Haugen finds the elbow. That's the problem with Gilk being that high up. She has to really press over. She just goes high there, exposing an elbow, and it's hard to turn your elbow in on that block. Great use by Haugen. Right now, I think Maple Grove probably going to serve down the line. That's been the plan the last few times here. I think Gilk might be the kid that wants the ball. But if you're Kopp, you got a couple other options. You got Schmidt up there. You've also got Reese. I think Reese would be the kid I'd go to here.
Sear has been dynamite from the service line here tonight. Kopp will come to Gilk, and she puts it away, and the Rebels tie it back up.
Freshman does not play like a freshman at all. In that moment, knowing her team needs a side out, takes her swing, gets the point, gets the side out.
Here's Reese Axness, another freshman. Axness will come back to Gilk, and that one is good. Rebels in the lead again.
When Gilk had a kill in set 2, the Champlin Park student section started chanting, "She's a freshman." That is a way bigger kill on a way bigger moment.
Axness with a tough serve. Crimson stay with it and pushed in. We are evened up again.
Waterman does a great job there pushing that ball down the line.
Waterman to serve now for the Crimson. Uh-oh. Make it 29-28 Grove.
And everything we could ask for down the stretch here in set 3, Jay.
Gilk will get another opportunity here. Middle for Knutson, had it blocked though. Rebels stay in it, tied up at 29.
Knutson not able to get her elbow back on that one, forced to tip, and the block was there.
Lily Reese with the serve now for Champlin Park. And there's Marta Haugen coming through again for the Crimson.
I think Maple Grove is out of subs. Freshman Riley Orrock just ran towards the substitution line, and Boltice pointed go left front. This could play.
Marta Haugen the serve. Oh, and it's into the net, so we're even at 30.
Well, Haugen with her first serve, I believe, of the varsity season. See how they do in a flipped roll.
Gilk with the serve now for Champlin Park. They run it down, and Gilk has to go to the floor to dig that one up. And the kill for Claire Caswell. Maple Grove fighting, but couldn't keep that ball up. Now it's Champlin Park's turn again to have another set point and match point. Off the block. Axness will come and put away by Caswell, and Champlin Park will pull out a thriller in set number 3. and it didn't take long for the students to arrive. Andy, it was much tougher than it looked like it was going to be there down the stretch of that third, but man, that was exciting, and maybe this might even help the Rebels to have had to fight through that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Champlin Park really doing a great job down the stretch. It wasn't always easy. Maple Grove brought everything they could down the stretch. Great volleyball. We talked about it. This is always the tough part as the Crimson are hiding in a corner there. Very emotional, especially for, you see a couple of the seniors with some tears. They're going to step out. Hats off to Maple Grove on a great season as they finish the year. Champlin Park excited to get out of here with a 3-0 sweep. They will reset and play the host Wayzata Wednesday at Osseo. Should be a great one come next Wednesday.
Yeah, Maple Grove really fighting back. I'm sure they're going to be leaving the gym tonight saying, if only we'd started a little bit quicker. Because, I mean, from the middle of the second set on, they were back and forth and relatively even with Champlin Park, but it just took them a little too long to really get going here tonight. And down the stretch, obviously, I mean, we were ready to pencil into that win, and all of a sudden Maple Grove came firing back at them. But Champlin Park, to a certain extent, the roles will be reversed now from what they were here tonight. Maple Grove was coming in hoping they could stay with Champlin Park. Champlin Park kind of hoping they can stay with Wayzata. I don't, again, mean to disparage that. They did play them to 4 sets in that first that regular season meeting, but certainly the Rebels will come in as the underdog, but as a very good underdog, and they'll try to hand Wayzata their first loss of the season. As we see that championship bracket, it'll be Wednesday over at Osseo High School, neutral court for that one, and what a match it should be.
Do we get to cover that together? I think that's the case, Jay. Looking forward to it. Should be a great one on Wednesday. We'll see you guys there.
So it is Champlin Park winning over Maple Grove. It is a sweep, but that third one was a set to remember as the Rebels win it 32-30 after taking the first 2 in much easier fashion, especially that first set. Thanks to the coaches here tonight for their help as always, and good luck to the Rebels as they get set to face Wayzata in that championship match, which, as Andy said, you can see on CCX. Thanks for joining us for volleyball here tonight. Wayzata won the first semifinal. Champlin Park over Maple Grove in the second. For Andy Gugasberg and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Wayzata.